Today we're going to learn how to track our reading log information by using Microsoft Excel. To start, we click on the big green X at the bottom, Microsoft Excel, and that'll open up our workbook gallery, and we're just going to choose a standard workbook. I'm going to click Choose in the bottom right hand corner. And that brings up a standard workbook, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm tracking my reading log information. The first thing I need to do is type in day, and today we're going to be working on day of the week. Okay. The second thing the second column, the title of the column is going to be pages per minute. And notice how I overlap that box. I'm going to grab up at the top. It's going to turn in a dark line up here, and that way I'm going to be able to move my column size a little wider. Then I'm going to write pages red and minutes red. And again, column D is just a little bit too short. I'm going to expand that a little bit. I realize that pages per minute, this I know is going to be my title later on, and I want it to be my name, pages per minute. So I'm going to click on this bar up here that allows me to edit the cell that I'm working on, and I'm going to go ahead and type my name. And again, I would like to see all of what I've typed, so I'm going to make that column just a little bit bigger. Now it's time to put in the days. We are going to deal with 2 weeks of our reading log. We're going to go ahead and start with Sunday and Monday. If you are a touch typist, this will go a lot faster. And we are already at a week. We are already at a week here. And what's going to happen when I start typing the next week, it's going to give me some options. Here at Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to choose Sunday. As I hit M for Monday, it pops up. T for Tuesday, I have to choose the right one. W for Wednesday, again for Thursday, F for Friday, and it pops up. And it just makes that whole thing go a little bit faster. We're going to go ahead and skip column B. Column B is going to be a formula. But in order to do the formula, we need some information. So on Sunday, minutes read, pages read, we have 30 pages, and the minutes read happen to be 40. And pages read on Monday was 25, and minutes read was 30. On Tuesday, I didn't read it all. On Wednesday, I read 50 pages, and I read for 30 minutes. I read 55 pages on Thursday, and I read for 30 minutes as well. On Friday, I didn't read. On Saturday, I read for 100 pages, and I read for 45 minutes. On Sunday, I read for 60 pages, and I read for 30 minutes. On Monday, I read 20 pages, and I read 40 minutes. On Tuesday, I read 0. On Wednesday, I read 25 pages and 50 minutes. On Thursday, I read for 30 pages, and I read for 66 minutes. On Friday, I didn't read. And on Saturday, I read for 40 minutes, and I read 40 pages, and I read 70 minutes. Now it's time to work on the formulas. go up to the top, and the formula is a very basic formula. We're going to type in an equal sign, and then we're going to look at the information in column C2 and column D2. And notice as I clicked on the two columns, it popped up in here, but it wanted them added. I don't want them added. I would need the division symbol, and in the spreadsheet it is the /. So equal sign C2 divided by D2. And then I'm just going to put my cursor at the end, and I'm going to hit enter. And that's going to give me 0.75 pages per minute. Let's try that formula again. Equal sign C3, because this cell is column C, row 3, / column D, row 4, row 3, and then the enter sign. And we're going to try it one more time. Equal sign, column C, row 4, / column D, row 4, enter. And I get all this error message, this gobbledygook here, and it's because I divided 0 by 0. It won't affect our graph, so we're just going to leave it. One final time, equal sign, column C, column C, row 4, row 5. Notice C, row 5, divided by D, row 5, and the enter sign. I'm going to click back up here, and I know a shortcut. I'm going to grab on to the corner of this cell and drag it all the way down. It's going to apply the formula for the rest of this column, and so I don't have to type it individually. Notice we have that division by 0 error. Even if I click here and the caution sign, it tells me that divide by 0 error. I don't need to do anything with this. I'm just going to click off of it. Time to make my graph. Click up at A1 with the date, and I'm going to drag down and I deleted it accidentally, and I just hit Command Z, and I need to choose all this data. So I'm going to choose all that data. You can start from either corner, and then you go to Charts, Line, choose this 2D line graph, and it has all my information here. Jared's pages per minute is the line. It's also my title, and it gives me the number of pages per minute. And once we have our graph out, click on that again, and I can change my the look of my graph by up here we have Chart Quick Layouts, and it gives me some different choices, including different titles. No title. It gives me the axis title. It also gives me my raw data down here. You can see my dates. The days of the week aren't coming up nice and neatly, but it does give me all my data. And we can also have this information that labels my graph a little bit for me. I do like the first look that we had, and I'd have to work on the access title. Click on that and change that. Notice how I can move this screen, this graph around in my chart, and I can actually make it a little bigger so I can see it. I like having my chart as a separate page, so I'm going to go up to Chart, and I'm going to click on Move Chart, and I'm going to click on have the chart be part of a new sheet called Chart 1. And I'm going to click OK. So if you see these tabs down at the bottom, I can click from Sheet 1 to Chart 1. Now that I have one type of graph, Jared's pages per minute, I'm going to show you another way of using this same data to create a different graph, and we're going to create a graph for minutes read. I'm going to click on column A where it says day, and I'm going to highlight all the information down to Saturday. I'm going to click the Apple key or the Command key and highlight everything in column D, and I'm going to drag it down to the bottom there. Then I'm just going to click on line graph and choose a basic line graph, and I have minutes read here, and I get to have my my title, and I'm going to change my title to Jared's minutes read just by clicking on it until the four-corner box appears and typing my name in. That way I know exactly what my graph is showing me. I will show you another way of doing this, but first I'm going to move my chart, move chart to chart 2, new sheet, chart 2, OK. And down here I have chart 1, chart 2, and sheet 1. Back to sheet 1. I'm going to highlight all my information again from A, B, C, and D columns all the way down to row 15. I'm going to click on line graph. This, I have tons of information, and it's not really what I want. I'm going to remove the blue line, Jared's pages per minute. I'm just going to backspace and delete that. Now I have this information here. It gives me pages read, minutes read, and I might want to have that information to compare the two. If I really wanted to, I could click on one of these lines and hit the backspace key, and then I'd only have minutes read if I deleted pages read, or I could click on the green line and have only pages read. And that gives me a different kind of chart to analyze. I kind of want a title, so I'm going to go to Chart Quick Layouts here, and it gives me a chart title, and I can type in Jared's reading log. That gives me a title, and if I click on the axis title, I'm just going to hit backspace and get rid of it. You've now learned how to create several different kinds of graphs with your reading log data. In our next video, we will learn how to analyze that graph. Thank you for joining me.